Hi everybody, welcome back to Coding and Creating. Today I want to do a little walkthrough and introduction to the challenge called Code Machine. So it's right here in the upper left, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Code Machine. And let's take a look at what we're going to learn. In this one, it's called Everyone Can Code, the Incredible Code Machine. Let's take a look at this. I like how the robot, if you look at the picture, you recognize the picture of the robot's mom. That's the original Macintosh. All right, so I'm gonna live on the edge here and press the red button. Let's see what happens. Seems like the machine is missing some of its parts. Can you help replace them? So what's going to happen is we're going to set item A to .gear, set item B to .spring, and forge the items. Now, think to yourself, do you remember, based on your last lessons with Hello Byte, do you remember what those lines of code are? If you said functions, you're right, those are all functions. Functions are commands that represent a set of instructions. And in the Hello Byte lesson, they said that they would share with you why all those functions ended in parentheses. And here we see for the first time what happens inside those parentheses. Things like .gear and .spring are input that goes inside those parentheses. There's a lot of different vocabulary that they use, but .gear is that type of input is called an argument, and they're saying that you pass that argument, that bit of input, into the function. So it says there are 6 parts missing. Locally, you can forge new ones with code. And if you can find all the different inputs to get all these different outputs, look at all the crazy different accessories you can have for your robot. So let's take a look at the first puzzle to get you started. Code Machine, you discovered a mysterious glowing machine. But wait, it looks like it's missing some parts. Run your code to see how the machine behaves. So I'm going to click here on the speedometer and I'm going to run it as fast as it can go. And it gives a couple of inputs, some metal and cloth, and it spit out some wire. How exciting! Notice how the machine takes 2 items and shoots out a new one. Next up, you'll learn how that works. I'm going to click Next. Inputs and outputs. To make new parts for your machine, you can add items, which are inputs, into the machine, and it forges together new items, which are the outputs. This process is similar to what devices do with code. And as we scroll down a little bit, it gives you a place where you can learn a little bit more about functions, and you can try the challenge. So I'll click Next, and it says New Eyes. In the code, press metal or cloth and replace it with items such as dirt, DNA, or stone. So let's say I press right here where it says metal, and I could go ahead and try maybe some DNA. I can hit run. Let's see what happens. Oh, we got a brick, so it didn't give us exactly what we wanted, but it says the machine could use some new eyeballs. Can you help? Try combining DNA with another item to see what it creates. So I've already got DNA. I can click here on cloth, and I could try another thing. Let's say DNA and dirt. See what happens. Oh, it gave us a tree, which that's cool, but it wasn't the eyeballs. So you'll have to see if you can figure out what combinations will create some eyeballs. Now, as you go through, read all of the directions carefully and have fun with creating all the cool accessories for your robot. A lot of kids really enjoy the challenge of seeing if you can get all of the different equipment. If you click right here on equipment, see all of these accessories, see if you can fill out every one of those. It's a challenge, but a lot of kids have done it with persistence and some hard work. In the later lessons, I click here on that little chapter guide. When you get to the levels where you're using loops and completing the machine, when you're doing those, you can figure out some ways to automate the process and make things a little bit more simple. So have fun with the Code Machine. See you next time.